National security. Over the weekend, an illegal immigrant from Iran, who we believe came by boat, was arrested in the north of England on serious charges of terrorism. Since the speech on Monday, 1,000 young, undocumented young males have crossed the English Channel. Does the Prime Minister agree? Now is the time to declare the situation in the English Channel as a national security emergency.
Mr. Speaker, over the past week we've secured a historic trade deal with India and a landmark agreement with the United States, protecting and creating British jobs, slashing tariffs and driving economic growth. We've also published a white paper setting out how this government will end the open borders experiment of the party opposite, bringing net migration down, backing British workers and delivering fair control of our borders. Mr. Speaker, I know the whole House will also want to mark the 40th anniversary of the Bradford City fire. We remember the victims of that devastating tragedy and celebrate the strength of the community. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings.
In a recent session of Parliament, MPs debated key issues, including immigration control, national security, economic performance, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Channel crossings and national security. An MP raised concerns about national security following the arrest of a suspected illegal immigrant from Iran on terrorism charges in northern England. He claimed over 1,000 undocumented young men had crossed the English Channel since a recent government speech, and urged the Prime Minister to declare the situation a national security emergency. The Prime Minister acknowledged the seriousness of the situation and blamed the previous government for losing control of the borders. He said the new Borders Bill gives law enforcement powers similar to anti-terrorism legislation, enabling early intervention before crimes are committed. He criticised opposition members who voted against the bill. Trade deals and economic issues. The Prime Minister shifted focus to economic achievements, citing recent trade agreements with India and the United States. He said these deals would create jobs, reduce tariffs, and grow the economy. He also announced a new white paper aimed at reducing net migration and improving border control. The opposition leader responded by pointing to a reported 10% rise in unemployment since the last election and the closure of Beales, a 180-year-old department store. She said government policies were damaging businesses and increasing job losses, especially in the charity and nursery sectors. She also criticised a proposed unemployment bill that she claimed would make hiring more expensive. In response, the Prime Minister argued that the economy had created 200,000 new jobs and that investment was at record levels. He contrasted this with what he described as economic instability under previous leadership. He also defended the India and US trade deals and dismissed opposition plans to reconsider them as irresponsible. Middle East and Gaza, humanitarian crisis. Turning to foreign policy, an MP raised the ongoing crisis in Gaza, describing severe shortages of food, water and medicine. He urged the Prime Minister to work with international allies, including the US, on a plan to recognize Palestinian statehood and deliver urgent aid. The Prime Minister described the situation in Gaza as intolerable and said the UK was working with partners to ensure the unimpeded flow of humanitarian aid and to secure the release of hostages. He reiterated his support for a two-state solution as the long-term path to peace. Tributes and statements. Tributes were paid to Roy Stone, a long-serving civil servant who worked under multiple prime ministers. The 40th anniversary of the Bradford City Stadium fire was also marked, honouring the victims and the strength of the local community. Members also condemned a recent attack on the Prime Minister's family home, calling it an attack on democracy. Closing exchange. In a final exchange, the opposition accused the Prime Minister of abandoning previously stated values, including compassion for migrants. The Prime Minister defended his government's stance on migration, saying it was based on control, fairness and selection, and accused the opposition of lacking serious alternatives.